Hello, everyone! So after more than 2 weeks of waiting, we finally got the second part of episode 107 of Skibidi Wars by Verlance that came out a few days ago. And now I'm going to make the best and most detailed analysis of it and find all the secrets and Easter eggs that you guys could have missed. And what's interesting is that this part of the episode was really focused on the lore of Skibidi Wars. And you guys know that it's something I always like. And in this video, you'll know what the human versions of the Dark Speakerman and Speakerwoman looked like and what they worked on back in the old days. And in this episode, you'll also learn what the true intentions of the administrators are, or how the Phantom Queen wants to manipulate you into her own schemes. And besides that, we will also see the appearance of our old rival who didn't shop up for quite a long time before. So will the Phantom Queen be able to find the Speaker's key after all? And is the Dark Speakerman going to survive the torture she's about to put him through? So if you want to know the answers to all these questions, then get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end because I saved the best part for later, just as always. Let's go. Okay, well, but considering that the first part of episode 107 was posted quite a really long time ago, let me quickly remind you of everything that happened in the series before, so you could understand what is actually going on in this part of the episode in the first place. So the first part of episode 107 of Skibidi Wars kicks off with the Dark Speakerman's POV, where he showcases his insane combat skills by taking down the Necromancer minions. He then joins forces with his elite squad, including Speakerwoman, who is dressed like Reina from Tekken, and 2 other Speakermen. After some difficulties while opening a door, the team enters a battlefield which is full of lurking G-Man clones. Titan Speakerman then makes a powerful appearance and shows his new upgrades and fighting abilities. For example, now he's wielding a giant scythe with the usage of which he decimates multiple enemies. Then Titan Speakerman moves to another location, but this is definitely not the last time when we'll see him. The scene shifts when the POV stumbles upon the body of a fallen Speakerman which is surrounded by grieving teammates. And soon after, the POV finds something even stranger, which is a toilet with a Speakerman's head inside glowing a toxic green color, which seems to have a disturbing mental effect. The POV pushes it away as it might be a taunt from the Necromancer's army. And then a massive Skibidi mutant suddenly shows up who is sporting a fallen Speakerman's head as a battle trophy. This mutant launches an attack, overpowering the Dark Speakerman and his comrades, and it might also look like Speakerwoman has also been defeated by him together with other Speakermen as the POV sees her knife. But later in the episode, it would turn out that she's actually alive and managed to escape the mutant after all. So after overpowering the whole Dark Speakerman's team, the mutant tries to engage in the conversation with the Dark Speakerman instead of keeping the fight with him. So he starts telling him about the futility of the war between the Alliance and Necromancer whatsoever. The Speakerman, however, refuses to back down while showing the unexpected resilience. The fight intensifies until suddenly the upgraded Speaker Strider, which was long forgotten in the Boom's original series, returns, and it was being piloted by the survived Speakerwoman. So with just one shot, Speaker Strider forces the mutant to retreat. But then the real G-Man appears. So the first part of episode 107 ends on the pretty tense note. Okay, so now when your memory is refreshed and you're all set and ready, the second part of episode 107 is already on your screens. But before I'll dive into actual analysis, let me remind you to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content I'm making, because I really appreciate your support. Okay. So if you are subscribed now, let's get back to the episode. So the second part starts with the previous wholesome scene where the POV gets help to get on his feet by Speakerwoman while Speaker Strider is happily chilling in the background. But suddenly the greatly injured Skibidi mutant rises from the debris behind them, but instead of fighting our company, he just flees away like a little chicken he is. But then something eerie starts happening to the Dark Speakerman because his head starts glitching all of a sudden, and then no other than G-Man himself shows up in the background. And he begins to blast Speaker Strider with his thick green lasers, and by that he just pushes us to the ground, and when we finally get to our feet, Speaker Strider is nowhere to be found. But well, I still remember the cliffhanger from the first part of this episode when we thought that Speakerwoman is not with us anymore, and pretty much the same thing happened. But then by the end of the episode, we would learn that she was actually safe and sound. Okay, so when the POV finally gets up and looks around, he realizes that no one is with him at the moment and he's standing alone in this forest of flames. And he also gets to know that his jetpack is damaged to the point of no return, so he cannot fly anymore. and it wouldn't be so easy for us to escape this place that easily as it was before. After that, the POV throws the useless remains of his jetpack to the side and starts searching for the way out of this situation. And a second later, G-Man literally opens the way to the fresh air to us, and in this moment we can hear the sound effect from Dark Souls game series. And apparently this may be a hint that fighting with G-Man wouldn't be so easy at the moment, to say the least. So instead, the POV starts running for his dear life like crazy, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because if I were in his shoes, I would do pretty much the same thing. So we're getting back to the Speakerman's base as the POV tries to escape G-Man's nasty hands. And by the way, in this moment we can see that Speakerwoman is also running along with us, and her jetpack is still in one piece. But unfortunately, our runaway wasn't meant to last that long, because just a second later, G-Man literally rips one part of the wall out and stares at us face to face. And in this moment, he plays with his eyebrows while looking at us, as if he was saying, "So, nowhere else to run, huh, buddy?" And by the way, this moment is a reference to the scene from episode 71 of Boom's original Skibidi toilet series, where G-Man also played with his eyebrows while clearly flirting with Rizsaw Skibidi Mutant. So can it mean that, something special is happening between G-Man and the Dark Speakerman in this moment? But whatever was happening between them in this second was actually interrupted by Titan Speakerman, who leaped at G-Man's face and distracted him from the Dark Speakerman. And oh my god, just look how huge G-Man actually is in comparison with Titan Speakerman's size. This is really crazy, guys. Apparently he's been fed some really good stuff which allowed him to grow this much, huh? Okay, and meanwhile Speaker Strider also arrives into the building because, as you remember, the POV has no jetpack to escape and needs help ASAP. But unfortunately, just as Speaker Strider appeared next to us, we got separated by the green laser that ripped the floor in two parts, and we're at risk of falling in the depths of Speakerman's base now. But in the very last moment, Speaker Strider provides us with one of his metal limps to hold on to, and just when it might seem that we're saved, something really strange occurs again. We're getting affected by the sinister white energy of the Phantom Queen, who infiltrated our base together with G-Man, and she causes some really weird hallucinations inside of our brains. And to be honest, I even started feeling like I appeared in Monster Up's zombie universe once again, where the Black Mamba Drill Man was sucking us into his own nightmares again. And as the POV hallucinates, he begins to hear the Phantom Queen's voice in his head, which was saying, "Poor thing, it's almost laughable how your administrators cling to their little secrets. They send us on this pathetic scavenger hunt to find all 6 keys, all of which are necessary to reveal their hidden location. But what exactly are they so desperate to keep from us?" And then the Phantom Queen cares to elaborate her point as she further says, "Do you know why they wipe all traces of their whereabouts from your mind? Because they don't trust you. To them, you're nothing more than a replaceable pawn, just another unit that merely embodies their last desperate grasp at hope." And it's obvious to me that by saying that the Phantom Queen meant the hope of winning this never-ending war with Necromancer and all the members of his army. But there was another detail in her speech that really made me curious about the administrators even more. So she said that the administrators try to behave elusive as possible because they don't even trust their comrades, meaning that no race of the Alliance has enough of any of their trust. And this is indeed pretty strange to me, because if they don't trust even their comrades, then how could they hope to win such a long and tedious battle for real? Because comradeship and loyalty are 2 most important things that can allow you to win battles. Well, at least that's what I think. But I have a much simpler explanation, though, and it's that the Phantom Queen is just bluntly lying to us, and I'll explain more about it to you just in a moment. So after that, the Phantom Queen adds, "Isn't it pitiful, watching them delay their inevitable fall? Humans!" So she truly believes that the administrators are too weak and they're meant to fail, while obviously implying that the Necromancer and their army is strong and powerful. And then she starts acting even more aggressively in the Dark Speakerman's mind while asking him to reveal the location of the Speaker's key, which is supposed to be stashed somewhere in the depths of his mind. So right now she tries to search up his head to reach the memory she needed. And this concept seems to be pretty cool to me, I'm not gonna lie. So in the next scene, we see how the Phantom Queen reached one of the core memories of the Dark Speakerman. And this is basically a sheer reference to the first part of episode 73 of Boom's original series. Only this time it's not Camerawoman's flashbacks, but the Dark Speakerman's, while there is also a human version of Speakerwoman looking in the camera in front of them. And my, isn't she beautiful?
Oh my.
And dare I say that she's even prettier than Kathy, but maybe that's just my bias, you know? And also check out this sign on the well behind their backs, which looks like the giant A ladder. And there is also an inscription below, Department of Acoustic Software. So I'm pretty sure that this is one of the Alliance's laboratories where Speakerwoman and the POV worked back when they were humans. And based on the robotic suits that can also be seen in this flashback, I can say that we see a flashback from the time when human scientists were working on the idea of creating robotic suits or full-shaped robots which would be much more efficient in the future battles. And apparently Speakerwoman and the POV were one of the leading scientists of the Alliance. And what I'm also confident in is that those robotic suits they invented are also capable of featuring the mind of its wearer.
Huh?
And Speakerwoman was probably looking at the robot which already contained the mind of the Dark Speakerman who was her colleague. And apparently it was one of the very first successful cases because Speakerwoman is so happy about this experiment, and then she says, "This means we finally have the means to strike back." And of course she refers to the upcoming confrontation with Skibidi toilets. But then this scene gets interrupted by the Phantom Queen once again, who decides to jump ahead in the Dark Speakerman's memory. And in the next scene, we already find ourselves in the battlefield with plenty of technologies of the Alliance. But besides that, there is also this human SWAT squad operating, and they were apparently getting the human civilians into the safety. And I wonder if these human civilians were meant to still be humans, or maybe they were getting delivered to the Alliance's headquarters, and they turned into the agents as well. But before the SWAT soldiers managed to even finish their mission, we can see some absolutely crazy toilet that looks like Astro Mothership or something similar to that. In any case, this thing is massive, and I definitely didn't see a toilet like this in Boom's series, although he looks like a compilation of Astro Juggernaut and Astro Mothership. But then after this menacing guy goes away, we see someone who looks even crazier. And it's Malware Toilet, who we didn't see for quite a long time, and to tell you honestly, this dude looks absolutely awesome, although pretty scary at the same time. He definitely got more upgraded, and there's more yellow color all over his body. And then we see the monstrous form of the Phantom Queen herself showing up. And it's fair to say that she decided to show the Dark Speakerman all this with one clear intention, to just prove him that the Necromancer's powers are immense, and without the arrival of Tri-Titan, the Alliance would simply stand no chance at all. So it's obvious to me that at this point, the Phantom Queen is just trying to scare the heck out of the Dark Speakerman and get the location of the speaker's key out of him by force. But something tells me that she's about to fail in her task miserably, because the Dark Speakerman is a pretty tough nut to crack, and it definitely won't be that easy for her. And that was all for today. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so you will not miss my new videos, and also to my Discord, where you can contact me directly and get lots of info for my subscribers only. And that was me, ISO Toilet. See ya!